I just put a hydraulic e-brake in my rear-wheel drive, big turbo, K-swapped Subaru Impreza. Lot larger than I expected it to be, because I don't want to put it in the stock location because that's kind of weird, but I guess we'll have to figure this out. So this is kind of the position I was wanting, just enough over so I can have it out of the way, but not so far that it's an awkward angle, because whenever it's here I have to like bend my arm backward and I can't really pull it down enough. So probably gonna build a small bracket off and then obviously have to cut a bunch of that out. But so I went ahead and got the Willwood integral master cylinder removed so I could get to the brackets. There's two little bolt holes and now this whole thing's jiggly. I'm going to make a little plate out of 1/4 inch steel that I have, and then I think it's gonna be like right around here, so I'll weld a little bracket to the side of my trans tunnel and have it sit right at that angle. Should not be a bad install at all though. So I got my little template cut out that I will be welding right about here, making a little bracket off the side to the side of the transmission tunnel to make sure it's nice and sturdy. But I went ahead and removed all this sound deadening that I used as a temporary solution to cover up the trans tunnel that I had to extend to get the BMW transmission high enough. So I'll probably be making a plate to cover this, that way I don't have this sticky stuff all over. All this is hidden anyways, so I'm not gonna make this cover perfect, but I at least want to make it somewhat serviceable, because you can see the sound deadening stuff is sticking to my custom shift bracket, which I need to strengthen because it's actually bending. So like when I shift, this is bending, so I need to strengthen this and strengthen the shift rod, which looks like garbage. It bent before, so I added a bunch of weld to strengthen it. It looks ugly, so I may put a pipe over it instead to make that not bend either. So I got this old Mountain Dew Baja Blast 12-pack case to kind of use for some CAD, that cardboard aided design. So what I'm going to end up doing is putting 2 riv nuts on each side of the trans tunnel and just kind of bending it. I have sheet metal that is very thin that would cover it. And then we have a little tongue. Man, it's so dark in here, but there's a little lip right here with this bracket for the dash. So I'm just gonna have the lip go up. I don't want to bolt it down right there, it'd be too hard. So we'll just cover up everything all right here. I keep my 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch steel plate inside, but my even thinner one is out here. There's my scrap pile, and here is an old project that I never even finished, along with some more scrap stuff. But then here is my plate of super thin steel. God, folded in half too, by the way. So then we can take our template and put it on this absolutely disgusting piece of metal. Jesus Christ. And then we get a nasty piece of metal that looks like this. And I wash it off a little bit, put a little bend in there. So now it goes right up in there. Fits over the trans tunnel pretty nicely, so just need a couple bolt holes. Probably gonna make it face up some so the shifter has room to move around under there. I have the shifter kind of mocked up in the same location. Don't have the linkage hooked up, but we can see it ends perfectly before there. Kind of curves around, and easy little plate. Doesn't look great at all, but it serves its purpose, and it is hidden underneath the center console, and this hot looking hydro will hide the look too. So I use the self-tappers pretty much as locators so that I could put riv nuts in here. So I got 4 total, and I got a coat of paint on the cover, which the exposure is not autoing, but wait for that guy to dry and then we can bolt her back on and then actually move on to the hydro. So I took a piece of pipe, cut it in half. I welded 1/2 to the bottom of this bar to strengthen it, and then the other half I wrapped around this bar to strengthen it. This is the stock BMW one, so I'm assuming this is strong enough, so I just added it to this little part. And so now hopefully the shifter is strong enough. And I also had the rear shifter mount self-tap, so I put 2 riv nuts here also to hold that stiffer. So then we can take this guy and do it the right way, put some sound deadening on the underside of it and not over everything to cover a big gap. Bolt this guy down. Nice, solid, and completely covered up. Still got a little access hole, but that's kind of what this guy's for. Not horrible though. So the handbrake is all fitted up now, except I obviously cannot fit my center console, so I'm gonna have to trim it up a little bit. So now this is what it looks like with the full interior. I tried to keep this part, but it was so thin that it cracked right there. And then this is where the stock e-brake would go. So I could have done a little bit better, but I'm going to figure out how to fill this area in just to make it look a little bit better. This piece luckily only had 2 little lines I had to cut out, but as you can see, we have full range of motion. Not looking too bad. So it is currently thunderstorming outside, so don't mind the background noise, but I just got the rest of the fittings to fully plumb this guy up now that I have it fully mounted with a ruined interior. So these are the 2 M10 by 1.0 to 3AN, so both of these will screw into the stock 370Z rear calipers. Then I got the other length of my 3AN ptfe line. I already had some, but I didn't think it'd be enough, so I went ahead and ordered a little bit more. I have 3 straights, 2 that I ordered, 1 that came with my last kit to this T, so I can T in from the handbrake to go out to the calipers. And then these are 3 various fittings that I have. I already have the other adapter fitting threaded in here, but I want to do a 180, that way it goes back down, because a 90 or 45 is going to get it in the way, but at least I can plumb it up. But the back of the car is already jacked up, so let me go ahead and take the wheels off and see how this routing is going to go. So now this little adapter fitting, it is not focusing, just threads in to the back of the caliper, just like that. If I can get it started, looking through the camera. There we go, getting her threaded down, and then we can try to follow the other brake line. So here's kind of what I'm working with. You can see the 90 comes up in a weird way. And if we come underneath the car, I had holes for my stock e-brake cable. So I drilled the hole out a little bit bigger on the T. And then I have a 90 on the other side of the main one. It's going to thread in like that. This one's a straight shot to the other caliper, going to tuck it up there. And then I have this little ledge above the top of the drive shaft that I'm going to go under and then go to the other bolt holes for the other e-brake cable that I no longer have. So here's the finished product. This is the main one to the top of the 90. I got a 45 to the other side, and the bend in the line itself is keeping it up, so I'm not too worried about that. Then I have the straight for the other side going up there, but it's not looking too bad, and this is very solid. And then it goes to a straight on the fitting adapter. So whenever the wheel goes, the wheel will not be able to hit it. I was scared with like a 45 or anything that it would get in the way, but just a straight shot to the other brake line that it is wrapped around. Got the bleeder screws cracked, so now we can take our .4 fluid, carefully pour it in there because it's going to spill all over my interior, just like that. Now we just got to keep squishing her and squishing her. Oh, I hear it pissing out. Yep, we got fluid pissing on the floor, so just keep on doing that. And that just about wraps up the entire Scotidi Race Development handbrake install. So hopefully you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Follow my TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook under that username right there. And mother flippin'